Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about how to use different modes of communication to supersize and grow your business. We're going to talk about 5 different modes. One that actually was created and now exists during my lifetime. Tells you how old I am. That's pretty cool, huh? Number 1, verbal communication. How can we use that to supersize and grow our business? Well, one of the fastest, easiest ways to build trust and relationships is through having conversations with people. Conversations with people in our organizations to build understanding and alignment. Conversations with stakeholders to negotiate great deals for our organization. Conversations with customers and potential customers. Customers to find out what's working, what's not working. Potential clients and customers to find out what they would like to see from our organization and how we can help them solve their real problems. I did a 4-page write-up on the benefits and shortcomings of each of these types of communication, as well as a when and how to use it. But instead of talking through that whole thing, since it's 4 pages long, if you'd like a copy of that, just put day 63 in the comments below. Not day 63. Just put, that's for Be a Better You Annual Challenge. Sorry about that. Just put yes in the comments below, and I will find a way to get it to you. Maybe I'll just attach it as a PDF or something so that everybody can have access to it. I am working on simplifying my modes of communication, making things clear, concise, and just simpler, right? It seems as our world gets busier and busier, everything vies for our attention, life gets more complicated. And if we don't take some steps to manage it for ourselves, it gets out of control and chaotic faster than we ever imagined possible for both our businesses and our personal lives. So what's our second mode of communication? Of course, it is nonverbal communication. It's my hand gestures. What are my hands doing all the time? It's my facial expressions. It's, am I making eye contact with people? It's my posture. It's my breathing. It's my energy. Anything that we can observe as human beings that's part of an interaction with another human being or communication, might be with a computer screen these days, is under the category of nonverbal. There are lots of ways to use nonverbal communication in our conversations, in our interactions for supersizing and growing our business. How we show up in meetings. If you shuffle into a meeting and your head's down and you have very low energy, everybody in the meeting knows how you're feeling about it. You're not very confident, you're not very happy to be there, etc. And people pick up those cues very, very quickly. We actually pick up people's nonverbal cues and nonverbals before they open their mouths, before they put a slide up, before anything. So we want to always be cognizant of that and our nonverbal cues and the messages that we're sending. The third type of communication is, of course, written communication. And there's so many ways to use written communication to the benefit of your business and to help you grow and build and automate and supersize your business. Text messaging, which is also digital, didn't exist before. Email messaging, email marketing, it didn't exist, before the internet was a thing. I remember early on in the days of the internet, staying up all night. I was still working in corporate America, had business on the side, was raising 2 very young children, yet I would pull all-nighters because I was so fascinated by the internet, and I didn't do really anything with it for a long time. Not until 2017 is when I finally said, okay, it's time that I get involved in this online digital world and stop just being in the offline world. And so to me, it's relatively new, right? So written communication, I would ask that you start paying attention to how is your business using each of these types of communication and how might you improve it, right? Always want to do an audit. I'm going to suggest that. Do an audit of your communication in your organization today. Do you have your processes written down and documented? I harp on that a lot because it's such a powerful tool and a powerful way to continuously improve everything that you do in your business. And if you're ever improving, guess what? It gives you a competitive advantage over people that aren't doing that. And the vast majority of people are not doing it, right? They're not paying attention to their communication. They're popping on social media. They're making a post here, a post there, but they're not consistent. But if you consistently, continually improve and document and revisit your communication, you'll automatically win customers and business that you otherwise wouldn't. Excuse my throat. Hang on a sec. So our fourth form of communication, and one of my favorite, because we get to be really creative with it, is visual communication. A picture is indeed worth 1,000 words. We talked about that when we talked about idioms. But sometimes an infographic, a picture, a chart, a statistical chart and data in a sales meeting is one of the most powerful things you can do. And if you're meeting with all of your sales team and you're showing them performance on a graph over time for each one of them, you don't usually need to say anything. You just put the graphic up, let them look at it, and then they self-identify and they figure out where they are and what's going on, and they say, and they decide if it's going well for them or not, right? So sometimes all you need is a visual. Finally, digital. Digital is, of course, currently my favorite mode of communication. Why? Because it's quick, it's easy, it's inexpensive, it is doable for anybody that's willing to put in the time and energy and consistency to figure it out and master it. And guess what? As soon as you think you've got it all figured out and have mastered it, it's going to change. So you get to be flexible and figure it out again, or figure out what to do next. I used to get frustrated by technology and by the digital world and by the internet and things and by different platforms. And now something changes and I kind of laugh, because where I used to see struggles and, oh my God, it's going to take me 2 weeks to figure this out, I realize that as soon as I decide I'm going to figure it out, I figure it out and I figure out an answer. And a lot of the time, I figure out a faster, easier, more efficient, and more effective way of doing something that I was doing a harder way before. It just happened on a Facebook change, and I'm like, Facebook's doing this, and I'm like, it's awful. One of the things they did was take away their masks, which I actually applaud, because I use them because they were fun and creative, but I also found many of them were extremely disturbing and really creepy, and I think bad. And they were probably being used in a bad way, which is one of the reasons that Facebook may have removed them. I don't know why they did. I don't know why Facebook does anything that they do, so I'm not going to pretend I do. I just have to roll with it, right? Just like every other platform that I work with and work on. So digital is the last one. So if you'd like a copy of this, put yes in the comments below and I will pop it off to you. I personally like to see visual, written. I don't have any graphics or fun pictures with it. If I were using it as a lead magnet or something, which is a written form of communication or a digital form of communication in our organizations, then I'd add graphics and I'd spice it up and make some fun things with it. But it's just for my notes to talk off of. I'm trying to get more consistent, more simplified, and easier for me this year. Why? Because it's part of my purpose and part of my reason for being. All right. Any questions? Ask. Otherwise, we're actually going to speak on this again in a little more detail and a little more personally or professionally tomorrow. That's a hint at what we're going to do tomorrow. Have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.